Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to The Current. And we bring you live music every week, every Tuesday.
Hello, everybody.
It just so happens.
Good evening.
Get rid of that. Sorry. It just so happens that this week is also the Charlotte New Music Festival, this week and next week. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Everybody in our Zoom room, thank you as well. So we're going to get started with the first performer of tonight, and that is going to be Erinn Frechette, flutist. And she's local to Charlotte, North Carolina, and she is also a member of the Charlotte Symphony. She's an amazing flutist, and I'm really glad that you guys have a chance to hear her play. And let's see. Here we go. I got you.
All right, am I on?
Yes, you are on.
Okay, so concerts in the age of COVID, so far, I'm not giving a big thumbs up to. But I'm excited to be here and to have some great pieces to present to everybody. So, what I thought I would do is play three short pieces that I call the pieces that set the stage. So, works for solo flute that we as flutists and certainly composers who write works for solo flute look back to as inspiration and as kind of the pieces that really laid the groundwork for the modern solo literature. So I'm going to go in chronological order, and the first piece that I'm going to do is Debussy's Syrinx. Very famous piece. I don't think it needs a whole lot of introduction, but it was written, let me refer to my notes, as a piece for incidental music for a play that was never completed, so we don't need to worry about that, but written in 1913. And really shows the tonal and color capabilities of the instrument. So this is Claude Debussy's Syrinx for solo flute.
Awesome. Thank you, Erinn.
Sure thing. really weird to not hear applause. Thank you, thank you. So the next piece is by Paul Hindemith, 8 pieces for solo flute. This is a piece that was written in 1927, and these 8 short vignettes showcase the different tonal possibilities, sonoric possibilities, range, and just the capabilities of what the flute can do on its own. Now, keep in mind, neither of these pieces deploy any extended techniques, which were being developed and being experimented with at this time. But this is all just plain flute playing as the flute was, normally and originally designed to be played as. So these are 8 short pieces, 8 Stücke für Flöte allein, flute alone. And the last piece that I'm going to quickly play is by Edgar Varèse, French composer, called Density 21.5. I'm sure all of the flutists and composers watching know this piece very well. It's probably one of the most notable of all of solo flute literature. It was written in 1936, and it was written for Georges Barrère. He had been a student at the Paris Conservatory and had been drawn over to New York City to play in what is now known as the New York Philharmonic, to perform as principal flute and to teach at what we now know as the Juilliard School. So he is the first person in history to have a flute entirely made of platinum, and platinum is the density, the metallurgical, all the science stuff that I don't understand, that's the density, 21.5. So science tells us, well, at least a little bit of science about flutes that I understand, that whether you have a flute made of silver, gold, platinum, titanium, any of the other metals, it shouldn't have any difference in the way that it feels playing it or in the way that it sounds to your audience. But we flute players all know that, of course, there are differences with the different metals. They do feel different. And having used to have had a platinum head joint, only the top part of the flute, I can tell you that it is very different than playing on an all silver flute. So this is Edgar Varèse, Density 21.5, and it's the first piece of this collection that I'm playing that offers any extended techniques, and you will hear and hopefully be able to see Varèse wanted the flute player to make a key click, to have a little bit of percussive effect along with the tone being produced. So this piece is supposed to show all of the dynamic possibilities and the range that the platinum flute, which was premiered in 1936, could do. pieces that set the stage. Have a good night.
Thank you, Erinn. Before you go, I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Yes.
Um, so tell us, tell us, like, what is some of the hardest, what are some of the hardest parts about learning a piece like that at the end?
Learning a piece like the one at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're all very different, but maybe we should just talk about the last one.
Okay. I kind of want to go back and do a measure. Playing by memory, and then I looked over and I was like, what am I doing? And it was my favorite measure of the whole piece. Perez is very insistent in this piece that you stick exactly with his tempo markings and you play exactly the rhythms that are on the page. So, as the performer, you have to balance your desire to emote with the composer saying, be strict. And there are some times where I'll take a little bit of liberty, but I do try to be very faithful to what Perez put down in ink. So
Right.
just making sure that you understand and follow what your composer wants you to do. So in this instance, no funny business.
Cool. Well, what have you been up to this whole time besides learning all these cool pieces? And by all this time, I mean during the quarantine stuff. I know the symphony's not going on right now. Like, what are they doing? What are you doing?
Symphony is not working. I have a 10-year-old son, so through the end of the school year, I was playing stay-at-home mom and homeschool teacher,
Mm-hmm.
which fourth grade is something that I probably didn't enjoy very much the first time, and certainly didn't enjoy having to do, especially the math part this time, and especially the way they teach the math now, because I can't understand how they wanted to do it. So I've been doing that, been doing some painting, because I have a house that we moved into that everything is white.
Right.
So doing some painting and getting things set up around here. Lots of cooking, too much eating, and Netflix. I mean, there's nothing else to do. And practice. A little
Right.
bit of practicing in there.
Oh my God. So, oh, I had one more question about that piece. You said it was for, I mean, is it translatable to a silver flute too? I know you said it was specifically for the platinum flute, but,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. I mean, it can be played on in whatever setup you
okay.
have. I mean, I'm playing on an all silver flute. I could get my wooden head joint out and also play it on that. But in the spirit of it, it's
Right. Right.
supposed to be on an all platinum flute. I will say also, I do not like platinum anymore. My job in the orchestra is piccolo, so even playing flute just feels big and bulky and heavy now. But an all platinum flute is actually so heavy that I don't think physically I could like stand playing it for more than just a few minutes.
Right. Wow. Interesting.
Um,
Very cool. I haven't actually played one, a platinum yet.
it, it's how it is when you drink a Guinness and it's like Guinness, it's just so much beer. That's how a platinum flute is. It's like it's so much flute, and yeah, it's not for me. But there are professional flutists that play on all platinum, and they love it, and they sound great. It's just I'm too much of a lightweight now to do platinum.
Yes. Yeah, well, especially if your focus is on piccolo recently.
Yeah.
Super cool. Well, thank you so much, Erinn, for sharing.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Oh, and you have a concert with us coming up, right, as part of the Charlotte New Music Festival?
Yes, a week from tomorrow, in
And
which we'll be playing probably about half of the concert on piccolo, some on flute, and a couple things on alto, and one thing on bass flute.
oh, that'll be so cool. We get to see the whole flute family.
Yes,
Very nice. Awesome. And that's going to be which day, what time?
that is next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Cool. Eastern time, everybody
Eastern
all over the
time,
world.
yes. Eastern time.
All right. Thank you, Erinn.
Thank you guys. I'll look forward to seeing the rest of the show. I'm going to watch on the live YouTube.
Awesome. All right. And next up, we have Katya Janpoladyan. And she is coming in live from. You're in Pittsburgh, right? Or near Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, hi. It's so nice to be here. It's so interesting because usually in the summer, we all have plans. And then now I am in Pittsburgh and in Charlotte. Thanks
Right.
so much for having me. And I just also wanted to say before, Erinn, you just sound as lovely and as beautiful as you sounded 7 years ago. What a solo. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, so my name is Katya Janpoladyan. I'm a cellist and I'm based out of Pittsburgh. And I direct an all-female ensemble called Cassia Ensemble. And we are all women who are advocating for women in arts. Um, so the two pieces which I'm going to perform for you today are actually a part of a bigger piece, a larger piece, which is by a Russian and now American composer, Margarita Zelenaya. So I met her through a mutual friend who said, you know what, I know that you are performing a music by female composers and you gotta hear her work. And, I just fell in love. I'm not going to do the whole thing. It's very long and it's gorgeous, but I will play two movements. So the piece is based on Byzantine chants. And why is it so special? Why I mentioned my Cassia ensemble is because the namesake for the ensemble, Cassia, is actually a Byzantine woman, an abbess, a firecracker, a strong woman who did not want to depend on anybody, but just started her own abbey, and she was a composer and a poet. She was the first composer, female composer translated into the modern notation. And I can hear some of the music in the music of Margarita. She is currently in New Jersey. I think she is watching. And so the first piece is called Psalmodia, and it means a chant, a song. The next piece is movement 7 from the same big work, and This one is called Unity of Spirit, the Harmony of the Spheres. And this one actually has a story behind it. So it was inspired by the fact that the Russian faith, the Orthodox faith, got its roots from the Greece, aka Byzantine. And when the ambassadors were sent to Greece, they realized that that's the faith they were looking for because it's so beautiful and it's so pure. And this is based on that specific fact. I really like this movement specifically because you can hear both. You can hear the Byzantine chants and you hear the Russian folk instruments. Just the very interesting blend of two things there. Margarita, she is using, you can hear some extended techniques on the cello here. Not crazy, but fully exploring the instrument, making sure that the cello sounds at its best. And it took me a while to adjust to some of them, but hopefully it will come out very good. So hope you enjoy. That's my second piece for tonight, Unity of the Spirit, the Harmony of the Spheres by composer Margarita Zeleная. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katya, and thank you so much for being an ambassador of women composers and getting that music out there. We would most likely, unfortunately, not have heard of these pieces and maybe not even these composers. So thank you so much, and thank you for what you do with Katya Ensemble. That's really amazing. So yeah, and some of these comments, let me just read these. They're absolutely right on. Karen Brown said, there were like 3 active voices in that last part. So cool. And beautiful piece, fantastic sound. That was incredible. Bravo, gorgeous playing, wonderful pieces, fantastic, really great. Thank you. So
great. What a
yeah,
response.
Erinn got some good ones too, but I forgot to read hers after her performance. But and then also shout out to Pittsburgh ladies. Yes. So and I met I met Katya. When was this one that we met? Was it?
7 years ago, I just had my daughter.
Yeah. And she came to play with the Freya string quartet, which kind of now turned into the Bayo string quartet. But you guys are still Freya too, or what?
No, I think it's actually a different group because
Right.
the four of us were Freya, and I think the only person remained from Freya is Jason Newcomb.
Right.
I hope he's listening. Hi,
He might
Jason.
be.
I know they are very busy, but it's a
Right.
different quartet right now, but they are wonderful musicians. It's
Right.
Pittsburgh is rich with good musicians. It's so nice to be here, and it's such a great platform for all of us artists. So I'm
Right.
absolutely in love with the city for
Um,
that very reason.
right. Wow, that's so cool. I haven't actually made it to there yet. I hope to do that sometime soon.
We should set it up.
Yes, we should. I agree. So I have a question about that first piece. The chant. Was that taken from a specific type of chant? Did you mention that?
When I was speaking with her, she basically mentioned that this is the only movement which doesn't have a backstory, but I can hear all these responsorial things which you would usually hear in the Catholic Church, because like I grew up in Armenia where the church music is we are still doing the Gregorian chants, the one voicing. We don't have the chant and responsory. And here I can clearly hear the mystery of Lord, like these things which you usually do hear during the Easter or Christmas, all of these, sacred things. So yeah, I hear a lot of that. So I'm assuming she spent a lot of time studying the roots of the current Christian
Right.
music.
Wow, that is super cool. Wow, I loved hearing it in that context. Um, Thank you. Do we have any other questions from the audience? We would love to take some, but if not, we'll just say thank you, Katya. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And
I'm thrilled to
we
be
do have.
here. Just
Oh, what?
you guys again.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was great having you on here. Oh, and she said, could you type up the name of the composer and the pieces?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So while she's doing that, I'll do a real quick, what we always do every week. Just FYI, we take up tips. So these are different ways that you can help us out with the show to keep it going every week. Uh, it gets split among the performers and the people running the show. So it's Venmo, it's CLT New Music, and then we also have Cash App, which is also CLT New Music, but with a dollar sign in front, and then PayPal.me/Charlotte New Music. So any contributions would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And our next performer is actually an old classmate of mine, Andrew Weathers. Andrew, you can stop relaxing now. So I met Andrew when I was studying music composition at UNC Greensboro in North Carolina, and he was also studying music composition. And so, what are you up to now these days, Andrew?
I live in a small town in West Texas where my partner and I bought an old storefront in the downtown, and we've been renovating it for about 3 years.
Yes.
And like basically stripping it to the studs and rebuilding everything. And we're kind of nearing the end of that at this point. We finished this room a couple months ago, and so just been doing that and running my record label and touring and keeping busy on the music front. But the studio situation has been a little strange because, there's piles of, drywall and lumber everywhere, and so it's hard to work in that environment. But
I bet.
yeah, but that's changing, and so I've been able to record a lot more, which is kind of like the crux of my practice, I think, is the recording studio. So
Oh, nice. And what town are you in?
um, it's called Littlefield. Its claim to fame is that it's the hometown of Waylon Jennings, the country singer, um, and
Oh,
it's like 45 minutes northwest of Lubbock, Texas.
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's not like the middle. There's more nowhere to be very close by than here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
um, So you went to, after Greensboro, I know you went to Berkeley in California.
I actually went to Mills next door in
Oh,
Oakland.
great.
Yeah, I went to Mills College and I was there. I did the MFA in electronic music there.
Awesome.
And then after that, I started working for an organization called Other Minds, which is based in San Francisco. Um, it's kind of like a new music presenting organization.
Oh, cool.
And I did production stuff for them for several years, and then I was in the Bay for like 6 years, and then we moved out here in 2017, and I'm still working for Other Minds, but I'm the director of their record label, and so I
Cool.
don't do the production stuff anymore.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Very nice to hear about your path and catch up a little.
Yeah, it's funny that to catch up in the Zoom
And
or in
then,
the Zoom live stream. It's nice. This is the future we live in, I guess.
I know. Well, what will you be playing for us tonight?
I'm gonna play. It's like one long piece, but it's really three pieces. Like about a year ago, I kind of gave up, or I let go of the notion that like my music had to sound like anything in particular aesthetically. And that was really nice. That's a really good thing. Is a nice feeling to feel like, I can just make the things that I want to make and not really worry if it sounds like Andrew Weathers, because it's going to sound like Andrew Weathers because I'm Andrew Weathers. And so I started writing these like small text pieces, kind of roughly in the fluxus tradition or the conceptual art tradition. Because I think about land a lot, and I think about like our homes and our bodies and the way that we kind of like move through all of these things and exist in space. And that is a really difficult thing to understand. I think particularly being a person of European descent in the U.S., which is stolen and occupied land. Where I live is Comanche land primarily, and so I wrote all these text pieces, and the good thing that's come out of the quarantine for me is trying to like realize these pieces, and a lot of them have to do with burying microphones at certain times of the year and that sort of thing, and it's like when we have regular life, you can't really bury a microphone in your backyard that easily. And so quarantine has allowed me to do that. And so I'm going to do a collection of three pieces. The whole piece is entitled Mouth Music and Modified Horizon Drone with Electric Guitar Solo. Mouth music entails standing in the wind and recording yourself reading your favorite poem with a microphone in your mouth. And so I did that. And then the modified horizon drone is a modification of a piece that is basically measuring the degrees of sky that you see directly from your front door of your home. And so there's that, and there's guitar solo. And so I'm going to play with these two EBOs. I was asked to explain what an EBO is, and so I'll do that. I don't really know where to look, because there's this camera thing going on.
That's fine. Yeah.
But so an EBO is basically a little electromagnetic field generator, and it interacts with the electromagnetic field of the electric guitar pickup, and kind of activates the string in a unique way. I guess the idea is that it's a way to play a guitar as a violinist would with, a horsehair bow. But there's always some gnarly stuff going on because electricity is very strange. And so, yeah, I think that covers the bases, and I should probably just play some rock and roll.
Sounds great. Thank
Cool.
you.
Yeah.
Super advanced Hawaii and how I share snorkel in the supernatural a cold water flight flowing flying off and through final floating yard. Who made those rings to heaven and under the hell? So I have a real heaven my hand a root moon. Who back into the university is playing a cool eye, who made up on you. And break crazy and crawling wall. Who will velvet carries a crazy and promising field and waving squall. Who carry I have you on the way where a girl is running a wood packet, anything is here to the wall. Who got lucky and a public beard is
Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Um, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the work you did, or
Oh, no.
what's involved?
That's
Okay.
what's involved is living life, and that's about
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Got some cool comments. I heard the ebos and the mouth music. But what element was the horizon music?
Oh, the modified horizon drone. There was a drone that came in at the end that was a synth sound that maybe got buried. It sounded like that. So I think it's kind of a lot of like upper harmonic stuff, and so it gets mixed up with the harmonics of the ebo pretty well.
Got you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
We have one more question.
Oh, that's Alejandro. Hey.
Yeah. How do you get to avoid the sound of touching your microphone inside the mouth?
There's this guy named Crank Sturgeon who is an LA noise artist. No, that's the wrong one. And he makes these homemade microphones that look like this. It's basically like a contact mic piezo with I think it's hot glue around it, and there's just a 1/4-inch jack on there, and so I wrapped that in like cellophane, like plastic wrap, and then it's in your mouth, fine.
Wow.
So it's definitely lo-fi. I would be curious to hear someone try it with like a SM57 or like an actual microphone, but I'm not bold enough quite yet. We'll get there.
One day.
Yeah, one day. Cool.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Andrew.
yeah, thank you.
All right. And then last up but not least is Jill with Space Daddy and the Galactic GoGos. So let's get this crew up here on the spotlight. How are you guys tonight? Well, first of all, you're muted, so let's get that unmuted. Let's see. Okay. Now check. There we go.
Got us?
Yes. Hello, lovelies. How are y'all tonight?
Good.
Doing well.
Ready to go.
These are kind of local friends. They're just over the border once you go down into crazy South Carolina. and so anyway, they're not far from us at all. In Charlotte, they're like 25-30 minutes away, right? And where are you guys based?
Rock Hill.
Rock
Rock
Hill.
Hill, South Carolina.
I didn't know if it was Fort Mill or Rock Hill, so cool.
You're
All
right.
right.
Yeah, we're not originally from Rock Hill. We all did meet on Uranus, but we've since settled in Rock Hill. We've made that home base, and I think we'll be here for a little while.
Nice. And can you tell us a little bit about your band?
I think we're the only extraterrestrial band that I know.
Well, you haven't heard of Space Pants, obviously.
You're
Yes,
space pimps.
Yep, Space Pimps. We got the
Well,
space flautist.
I meant that we have another ensemble doing a concert on Friday. They're called Space Pants.
Oh.
So you have some competition.
Yeah, that's competition. We welcome them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Bring on the space pimps.
All right. So tell us about what you guys do, what you're gonna do tonight, and so forth.
So usually we've got a lot of, pretty much everything's electrified. So this is going to be totally different from anything that we've ever done.
We're unplugged.
Completely unplugged. So we think it sounds all right, but it definitely is not what we're used to sounding like.
Right.
Got a lot of spacey, echoey,
Cool.
just different kind of tones going on. But yeah, this is going to be cool to hear it
First song.
in the
yes.
acoustic realm.
Right. I'm looking forward to it. What are you guys gonna play first?
So this first tune is instrumental. It's called Astro Glide.
Awesome. Thank you.
gets the fingers working on that one. All right. So this next song is going to have words. This one is called Assless Chaps. And it is the ballad of a young man in a foreign environment. You could say, extraterrestrial, unknown. So, venturing out, kind of doing some deep exploring, I guess you could say. Chaps, he rode in on the hall. Lumberjack trying to whack on a log. On a mission through heavy smoke, trying to find a little cutie to pose. Flipped him over, then they gave him a tug. Flipped him over on the bearskin rug. Hairy chest wearing nothing but flannel. It's bear's night and he's looking for animals.
I know it's got to be weird seeing the applause and not hearing it.
We actually can't see anything at all. I can't see you actually, unfortunately.
Oh gosh. Well, you're getting applauses all around.
I'm sure everybody's mouth's hanging wide open, but it's it's all in jest, and that's just the beauty of it, and it's good to have a good time,
Of course. You guys got some cool comments from the crowd. They said awesome, cool. I was full on moshing at the end of the first song.
People got a mosh pit at our set.
Yeah.
So bravo, some applause, and really nice. This made my night, Erinn Frechette said. So somebody wants to know, what's your band's name again?
Space Daddy and the Galactic GoGos.
Space Daddy and the Galactic GoGos. Do you guys play anywhere normally, like regularly?
At the Hideaway in Rock Hill.
Nice.
House band at the gay bar.
Nice. And then do you have any other projects going on?
Yes, we're making a mockumentary of the band.
Really?
Yes, we're going to be in a feature-length mockumentary that's going to be entered into a film festival. We don't know the title of the film, but we got an idea.
Probably Sounds from Uranus or
something like that.
Right.
Yeah, COVID's kind of put a damper on a lot of this.
Right.
Been talking for a little while, but it's just hard to meet and shoot and stuff like that. But it's definitely coming around. We've got pretty much, we've got 4 songs fully recorded
For the movie.
Then we're preparing to record some more. Probably going to put out an EP or something similar pretty soon as well.
How cool. Awesome. Well, good luck with all of that, you guys.
Thank you so much. And we're going to be at the Hideaway on July 24th. And I promise that an electrified show is much more in depth, much more on theme than tonight has been. I'm sure some people are like, they don't really sound very spacey, but
Well, you let us use our imaginations this way, and it doesn't. I really enjoyed it. You got a lot of really great responses from the people in here, and this was really fun to listen to and watch. So I appreciate you guys getting together and doing this, and I really can't wait to find out and listen more.
Chris, we on SoundCloud or Bandcamp?
Bandcamp.
Yeah, we're on, you can find us on Bandcamp too. You can listen to the 4 songs we've recorded.
Awesome. All right, yeah, we'll have to. So we'll just like type into Bandcamp your Space Daddies and the Galactic GoGos, right?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, cool. Will do. All right, thank you so much, guys. This was awesome. One last time, just FYI, in case you want to throw us a little donation, tip jar stuff. Venmo is CLT New Music. Cash App is $CLT New Music. PayPal.me/Charlotte New Music. Some of the audience members have been here since like the beginning of the show. And it started as I had a New Year resolution to have an open mic, a community open mic, once a month. And then we had one, and it went amazingly at the Crown Station Bar. And then it was for contemporary or classical to contemporary and beyond type of music. So it went really great. Everybody had a great time. We were buying drinks and listening to music, socializing with all the other weirdos we know. And then we got shut down in March. Everybody got shut down. So then I moved it to online, but unfortunately we couldn't really go longer than an hour online. It just doesn't work. So tonight was a little long, but it was a great show. So thank you. But so anyway, we moved down to featuring about 4 different acts or performers for 10-minute sets each. And so that's where we're at now. And that's kind of like what the show is. It's like this curated every week. And different people host it, so it's not just me. Next week will be John Shaughnessy, and then there will be more and more hosts. Last week was Mark Sullivan. So I'm incorporating different people who are hosting, and they're doing an awesome job and curating and hosting. And it's been quite the journey, quite the experience, and I really love getting to hear some of these people that I know and haven't seen in a while, or that I don't know. So thanks to all the performers. Thank you all. Thank you to the audience for tuning in, and I hope you all had a great, fantastic evening and enjoyed the music. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.